Tonight on Podcasting Down, you know that Tool song you like? Well, Tool doesn't. Cast them down! Hail, Metal Nation! It is time, once again, for a show review for a show that I wasn't at, because I don't get out much anymore. I'm usually here editing the episodes and filling out metadata. Mm-hmm. And that's why I get to keep all your donations. Sign up for our Patreon.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean you get to keep? There's donations?
Well, really, all the money for the Patreon just goes to the hosting provider.
Okay, all right. Well, that's fair then. I thought there was.
In all fairness, Matt, we still haven't reviewed that Star Trek book. Of our supporters wanted.
Fuck yeah, that's why they're all right. Coming in 2024. Dreadnought and the second part.
I got it right behind the Faceless Warrior. I got the book. I'm ready. Except unless I have to read it, then I'm not ready.
Can't wait for this. It's gonna be so exciting.
So Matt, you went and saw Tool, but before
I went and saw Tool, famous metal band.
Yes, yeah, that's where I wanted to start. Okay. So all right. Tool. Not on Metal Archives.
Not on Metal Archives whatsoever. Okay.
Wikipedia says gives these.
Let me guess. Alternative metal.
That's the very first one.
That's the first one. Wait,
also,
Doug, did you make the Tool Wikipedia page?
They are also.
Pro tip: if you see alternative metal in the Wikipedia description, it's not metal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, some of these are more confusing than others. So it also gave them the genres of art rock, post metal.
I can see that.
Does it have examples of post metal? Not really.
Not really.
All right. Post metal, progressive metal, and progressive rock.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's fair.
So,
rock.
It's definitely rock. It's definitely
counterpoint.
Huh.
I want to read you some of these awards Tool has won over the years.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, 1998 Grammy Awards, Enema, Best Metal Performance.
Oh,
oh fuck! You know what else was nominated that year? Judas Priest, Bullet Train.
All right, how about this? Grammy Awards, 2002, Schism, Best Metal Performance. And they won that one too. All right.
Schism's a pretty good song.
We'll skip over the nomination for Vicarious, 2007 Best Hard Rock Performance, because they got Best Metal Performance by the Grammy Awards in 2020 for Seven Empist.
If you love Seven Empist,
so are you trying to tell me that the Grammy Awards, the people who nominate and vote on the Grammy Awards, don't know what metal really is? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
What's the AMFT Awards? American Musical Folktales? American Association for Marriage and Family Therapy? That can't be it, can it?
Just to calibrate, who else has won the best metal performance? Metallica won for Saint Anger.
Oh,
there was that controversy with, wasn't it Jethro Tull?
Oh, we're getting there. Metallica also won for My Apocalypse. Pop quiz, what album is that on? No one knows.
Is it
why was it? Why?
Is it on Garage Days Revisited?
No, it's on Death Magnetic. It's like way late on there. Deftones have won.
Deftones are not.
Yeah, Rage Against the Machine, Soundgarden, Ozzy, Metallica won over and over and over again with like good stuff.
Oh, here's an interesting a band. I'm not sure if you've heard of them, Tim, but there's apparently a heavy metal band called Bodhi Count Body Cunch. What is this? I've never heard of them before.
Let's see. Nine Inch Nails won it, but not for the song you think.
Something off of Broken that would have been appropriate. What was it?
It was Happiness. It's off of Broken. Good job, Doug.
Yeah, Happiness. Yeah, that's fine. Sort of. I can accept
Happiness
that.
to Slave. Spoon Man is not a metal song.
Tenacious D.
Tenacious D.
Here's everything you need to know. Ghost won it. Ghost is the farthest thing from metal.
Ghost.
Fuck Ghost.
We want the French band or the one without the H in the name. They're good. The electronic band that comes out of the metal seed.
Yeah.
GOST. There's nothing on Metal Archive, so I wonder if they're actually metal. Okay, so Tool. So
okay.
So we have addressed the elephant in the room. Are they?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, if you're on the Grammy voting thing.
Yeah. If you're a member of the Recording Academy, then I went to a metal show. If you're what?
I was going to say, in our Metal Archives episode, that we're going to put Metal Archives on trial coming soon.
Oh yeah, coming soon. 2024.
We'll get into this, but what is heavy metal?
Right.
We'll answer that there, but there's a couple ways you can define it entirely musically. Then you get into what scene did you come out of, who do you tour with, and who goes to your concerts.
Yeah.
So my long-winded way of saying, Matt, what T-shirts were the people there wearing?
This is a good point. Now, but I should really set the stage beforehand because I live in the greater Washington, D.C. area. I don't live that far from Baltimore. I'm not even that far from Philadelphia or Richmond. So where did I go to this Tool concert? Allentown, Pennsylvania. That's right.
By the way, confusing stop on the tour because they also played Philly.
But they didn't play Philly the next day. Right. I believe they didn't play Philly until many days later. I think they're playing Philly tonight or something. November. Yeah, they play Philly tomorrow.
Well, not as of this airing.
Not as of airing. But okay, so let me
Allentown, by the way, is an hour like northwest, a little farther north.
Yeah.
Than
Philly.
Of Philadelphia. So if you were in like the southern tip of Long Island, right? And you took a plane due west, you'd fly over Allentown.
Let me just read you their November tour dates. All right. Start off in Milwaukee, Knoxville, Charleston, West Virginia.
Did they go to the Sun Sphere? Wait, Charleston or Charlestown? Because there's both a Charleston and a Charlestown.
Not Charlestown, but Charleston, West Virginia. Rochester, New York. Allentown, Pennsylvania. 2 days in Uncasville, Connecticut. Manchester, New Hampshire. Boston, Massachusetts. Philadelphia.
Their booker gets all the credit in the world. That's perfectly done.
That is not how you do that. So I was in a beautiful minor league hockey stadium, PPL Center.
Where the Lehigh Valley Phantoms play? Is that it?
Oh yeah, lots of Phantoms merchandise. It was a very strange. It's a very strange venue. It's almost too nice. So you're walking around and it's something like a Holiday Inn or like a medium tier hotel. So like there's like trim on the wall as you're just walking around the arena. It doesn't quite understand what it wants to be.
Is it like a combination convention center or something?
It seems to be that, but there's just the floor. I mean, it's just the arena. There doesn't seem to be meeting rooms. They're boxes. But I don't know. It's just not that. It's very strange. The bar if you want a shot of a Jameson, it'll cost you $24. Don't recommend that. They won't tell you until after they've poured it.
Whoa. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You literally get a bottle for that.
But you could also get a pizza flatbread for $12. So you could get 2 pizzas or a shot of Jameson.
Yeah, it's like living in California now. Prices have no meaning. I just pay it, and I guess a Modelo is $18 now.
So luckily, I had a $100 bill.
Allentown is somehow the 3rd most populous city in Pennsylvania.
It's not small. It's a nice city.
150,000, something like that.
Well, I believe as of the 2020 census, probably, if I recall correctly, it's 125,845.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a very flat city, from what I can tell. The whole place kind of feels like a college campus. It has a very, it's like if you ever go to somewhere like Virginia Tech or the University of Virginia, so there's like a thematic unity, but it's also different eras. But the downtown is nice. I like that. So getting to Doug's initial question, I saw lots of Slayer t-shirts. I saw Deftones. I saw a lot of more metal acts. I saw a lot of, interestingly, I saw a lot of tie-dye and sort of like drug paraphernalia shirts.
Sounds like, late the exact same people who went to our high school in the late 90s.
Like
they all moved to Allentown.
If you had told me that this was the crowd for the Warped Tour, I would have believed you. It was that kind of demographic. But also, strangely, there wasn't a good number of younger people. There were some, but there were not many in kind of the sub 20 demographic. But there was a lot of older people, I would say like 60 plus, in work clothes. So I don't know if they just have season tickets for everything at the arena. But there are lots of guys in like button down shirts and like jeans with belts. Just there to see Tool.
Did you go to Yakko's Hot Dogs, founded in 1922 by Lee Iacocca's uncle Theodore Iacocca? Because there are 4 locations in Allentown.
Holy shit! I wish I did, but I did not. It's
listed under cuisine.
Oh, I didn't. I full disclosure, I was a little late, so I didn't get there until 7:30. So I missed the opening act. I was eating as much pizza as I was drinking. In terms of dollar value,
that means you missed some of the city's actually good food. They have Chinese, Colombian, Dominican, Italian, Japanese, Mexican, Lebanese, Portuguese, Puerto Rican, Thai, and West Indian restaurants.
There was an Ecuadorian or Venezuelan restaurant that was closed that I wanted to go visit on the way from the parking garage to the arena. And I think it was Arepa's something. That nice. Looked cool. So we get in there. The opening act is done. There's lots of.
Who were they?
I don't even know. It was some one-man band. And I can't even really
translation. Guy with a laptop.
Yeah. I just remember really trying to figure out who it was. Steel Beans, maybe. Hold on. Let's see.
You made that up. That sounds so fake.
Tour date. Okay, yeah. Steel Beans. I don't know who they are. I didn't listen to them. They're the one-man garage rock act helmed by Jeremy DeBarty. They were practically unheard of until he experienced a sudden explosion in viral popularity when one of his songs was picked up on Instagram. Okay, well, check them out, I guess, if you want.
They really brought the kids in, it would seem.
Yeah.
Zero
Everyone on
ears.
Instagram's over 40 now, too.
Yeah, I'm
so.
too old for that.
Yeah. He kind of looks, for those out in Metal Nation, he looks like Frank Zappa. Most of the pictures of him I see are him in like a kimono, shirtless behind a drum kit with a guitar. I'm sure it's great. But I didn't hear it. I just got there for the milling around. Lots of milling around. I had floor seats, of course, because I demand the best. So
I don't want to derail you, but I'm going to.
Okay.
Among the notable people from Allentown are Michaela Conlin, film and television actress from Fox's Bones.
Oh, okay.
And Devon, a porn star.
Oh.
There's stuff like Billy Kidman, which sounds like a name you made up.
Billy
It's
Kidman?
a professional wrestler, former professional wrestler.
Okay.
There's like
Billy
judges and jazz musicians and stuff. But it's
famous albino actress Amanda Seyfried is from Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Tyrese Martin from the Atlanta Hawks.
Oh, okay. All right.
I believe the Atlanta Hawks, we decided, were medium metal.
Yeah, they're medium metal.
Varvara Lepchenko is from there.
Okay. All right.
Professional tennis player, obviously.
Oh, you forgot emo rapper Lil Peep.
Little.
No,
is it Little Peep?
Lil Peep.
I believe he's a rap singer.
May he rest in peace.
Oh.
Whoops.
Oh, Amanda Seyfried is.
That's what I just said.
Oh, I wasn't listening.
God damn it.
Christine Taylor?
Christine Taylor?
Ben Stiller's wife.
Oh, she was that character on Hey Dude. What was her name?
Yeah.
Melody.
That's right.
Man, I can't wait till this is over. I'm going to watch every episode of Hey Dude instead of going to sleep. I'm sure
Sounds
work
good.
won't mind.
Oh, and Amanda Seyfried is on here.
Hold up. Did you know Amanda Seyfried is from Allentown?
There is a 5-time medal winner from Allentown, Olympic medal winner.
Oh, okay.
In shooting, Lawrence Nusslein, 1920 Summer Olympics.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right, I'm done derailing you. Former American Idol contestant season 7 and 8, Alexis Cohen. All right, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let me just give you some statistics. So the average time in this tour so far, the average start time after doors open is 3 hours and 4 minutes.
Well, for Tool or for the opener?
For Tool.
So, but one opener.
So from doors open,
It's still a while.
start of the set, headliner, 3 hours, 4 minutes. Average show length, 2 hours, 11 minutes. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, I luckily beat both averages. My set started at 8:30, just 2 hours and 30 minutes after doors opened, and I got a wonking 9 minutes of extra music, with the show ending 2 hours and 20 minutes later at 10:50. So I feel bad for those people in Manchester, New Hampshire, but yeah, it was we got more, because Allentown is a great place. So the lights go down. I will say that except in terms of the performance, Tool is an amazing show. So if you like what, okay, there's two kinds of music shows, right? There's the kind of there's a kind of concert where you watch musicians engaging in their craft, right? You want to see them going crazy. You want to see all their skills and techniques. Tool is not the show for you, because for most of the concert, they are in shadow. But
someone posted videos of Catatonia, and Catatonia, when they play, I saw them once and I will never see them again. They all stand on stage like a regular metal band, but instead of lighting them, they bring a bunch of lights, like movable lights, and put them all behind them, shining at the audience. So if you're ready for a fucking headache, go see Catatonia. And then Catatonia comes out on stage, and you can't see them, and you don't even want to look in their direction, and then they play the same new Catatonia song 10 times and then get off stage. It is miserable.
Okay. So, keep that in mind. So let me describe the stage setup. The drums are front and center. And it's a fairly good
weird start. That's a weird start.
Interesting kit, right? Okay. The drummer, I believe, also does a lot of the sound triggers and stuff. So in addition to the drum kit, he also has, a pad or something where he can trigger sound effects, because Tool involves a lot of ambient, and we'll get into this later. But they need to do all the and the and the they need to do all that stuff. I hope we don't content matched. So on either side of the drums is the guitarist and the bassist. I'll remind you that
I found some live footage, so I'm corroborating your story here.
Tool is a 4-piece set. 4-piece group. Okay. Behind, so the drums, again, front and center. Guitarist, bassist. And then behind the guitarist and the bassist are two risers. And Maynard, the singer, is on one of two risers. Sometimes he's going back and forth, but he's always up, back, and behind. He is never, I did not see him in front of the drums at any point. He's just kind of singing in the background.
This is weird.
They play the way Tim mixes music spatially.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. When I saw him, he looked like he had just gotten off of work. So he was wearing nice slacks. It was kind of hard to see because he wasn't lit well. But from what I could see, he was wearing nice slacks.
He is not lit well.
A dress shirt. And
I can see
waistcoat.
everyone but him in this video I'm looking at.
Yeah. So, but you could tell he was wearing nice clothes. So it didn't really look like.
On? Is he?
Yeah. He was wearing a vest.
He looks like a mid-century bartender.
Yeah.
He's got a black vest and a white dress shirt on.
Yeah. No,
but he's rolled up his sleeves a little bit because he's getting hot from pouring all those drinks.
Or like a blackjack dealer.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, so that's exactly what you're imagining is true. So again, if you are there to watch music happen, not the show for you. But they do have like really cool atmospheric video screens. So it is kind of a fun like light and sound experience.
I think you are understating the magnitude of these screens.
Yeah, I mean the screen
gigantic.
You usually can't even see the musicians, except maybe like a cymbal flash because of this. It's probably like 30 feet, maybe even 40 feet wide and 20 feet tall. It's just gigantic. It's the entire back wall of the arena. And there's also this, I did count the points. So it's a septagram. So it's a septagram that at first I thought was part of the visual, like the graphics package, but it was a practical thing.
Oh,
So
it's like a physical septagram.
So it's like made of it's lit in various ways, and they had ways of changing the lighting to make it like fade into the background or become very exposed into the foreground. That was really cool.
That's very Rammstein of them.
Yeah, I mean, it actually reminded me a bit. If you like gave everyone in Rammstein Valium, I could imagine that they would produce this Tool concert.
I'm looking at this drum kit here, and did you plan on talking about that? I don't know how well you could see it, but I'm looking at it.
I mean, there was a lot. There's a big like gong. There's all kinds of stuff.
I can't see the gong from this angle, but he does have a giant ass China cymbal, and then two kick drums. Various. It looks like an obnoxious drum kit, but behind them there's like a keyboard thing.
Yeah, this is kind of what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's almost like an awning behind him. Like it's like the ice cream shop or something. It's this weird sort of curved keyboard, and then off to his left, your right is like where all the triggers and electronic stuff are.
Yeah, I think I see some of that. There's also a yet another kick drum, like a marching band bass drum on the other side, and some cymbal stacks.
So you might not be able to watch it, but I'm now remembering that the big gong is directly underneath that keyboard thing.
I think I see it. Yeah.
So
it's just this angle is not very good.
Yeah. So I mean, it's very hard to see because it's lit, but you never really get a good look at it. I was also about midway on the floor, right? So I wasn't very close up, but I had a good view.
The drums are lit experience very well, though.
I mean, I think I saw the drums. The drummer was the only part of the band I saw. Like, I didn't realize that Maynard had a mohawk until I looked at photos of the tour afterwards. But I did notice his damn vest. But there's just lots of visual noise behind it. Okay.
Is this what is this like a typical show for them, or is this their shtick for this tour?
I think this is what they do. I think they are very much committed to this kind of performance. I think, and when we get into the set list, I think you'll see exactly what they're about. So for those of you who aren't as familiar with Tool's discography, Tool had some big commercial hits in the mid 90s into the early 2000s. So I think
Tool's one of those bands where I played a show with the Tool tribute on the bill once, and when they performed, I was like, I don't know any Tool songs. They could play anything, and I wouldn't know. And I knew most of their set. I'm like, this is Tool? That's Tool? Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Tool is one of those bands that, like you said, their catalog is beyond their notoriety, if that makes sense. Like, you know more Tool songs than you think you know. But also, Tool has two, I think, massive mega hits. So one is the song that everyone knows from Beavis and Butthead. That is Sober, I believe it's called. And that's the one with the meat in the pipe.
Is that the one where he said, if I could move my hand that fast, I'd never leave the house?
yeah, that's the very same. So there's that song.
I'm watching the Beavis and Butthead edit right now.
So that song is very notable. I believe that's on Anima. And or maybe it's not on Anima, maybe it's on the next one. Who knows? But then they have Schism, which is their super mega hit. And that was like played on every radio station. Everyone loves that.
Is that the song every single bassist plays?
Yeah, that's Schism. Maybe actually I think Anima is the one with the stop motion animation. Sober is their first big you've heard that too.
There's no Tool fan like screaming at his podcast device right now.
Well, honestly, sir, why are you listening to a heavy metal podcast? Anyway.
Hey, I'm looking at the cover for Anima, whatever. I think Russell, this was one of the CDs my friend Russell borrowed from me and never gave back.
Oh yeah, we should also mention that Russell is a huge Tool fan. Okay,
Sober is from Undertow.
Okay, so Sober is the meat the meat pipe one. So Sober, Schism, they're two biggest ones. They have lots of middling hits. But you wouldn't know that if it came to the show. Now, I should preface myself by saying this. After their commercial success, Tool then went on to get weirder. They were already pretty weird. And I get a sense that like a lot of Tool's music is secretly ironic. Like, I think they're poking fun at the whole music scene just by and so much like a band like Rage Against the Machine or something, I think there's aspects of Tool's music that many Tool fans do get, but many Tool fans don't get. So like they could have over the top phallic imagery. They have over the top, just the name Tool, like over the top. On like Anima is clearly an enema joke. So there's like this almost like toilet humor aspect to it, but it takes itself very seriously. And so after the commercial hits, they had some very critically well praised, interesting, intricate, complicated music. But they're not, toe tappers and sing-alongers. There might be riffs, they're musically interesting, but they're not everyone is singing along. And that is the Tool that goes on tour. So if you like, if our buddy Dave was here, he would be loving this show, because it's just a 2-hour, 20-minute experience of light and sound, right? But if you think, they played fairly notable post 2010 Tool song, and they played some fairly notable deepish cuts. Now they did play singles, but they weren't the singles that got major market airplay. So if you're a Tool fan, this was a great show. If you just want to be washed in the sound, good on you. But if you're expecting for them to come out and play sober, come out to play Schism, if you were waiting, I should mention they had a 10-minute intermission. If you were expecting after intermission to hear the diddly-dee-dee-dee, or maybe you're saying, okay, encore, not going to happen. Not going to happen at all.
You believe some of this is kind of an ironic fuck you at some level.
I don't believe it's at any level except the main level. Maynard is actively hostile to the Allentown crowds. He's after the second or third song, he said, "How's it going, Allentown?" In that level of enthusiasm, the crowd responded with a roar. He said, "That's not very good." The crowd responded with a roar again and said something like, "Yeah, I was right the first time." And then the concert continued. At the end of the show,
your wet blanket.
He was like,
"How much were floor tickets? How much did you drop on this?"
I honestly can't tell you because they were purchased for me as a birthday gift.
Oh no!
So I don't know
Philly prices.
Well, you have to account for Allentown, though.
Yeah,
so I'm sure
I understand, but we'll you can take off like, I don't know, 20%.
Yeah, subtract like 15%, and I think you'll be there. At the end of the show, he said, "You guys are probably not as good as Pittsburgh," and there was some boos. And he said, "Definitely not Philly," and there were more boos. And he's like, "All right, good night."
Holy fuck! The floor in at Wells Fargo, which is where the Flyers suck, is $189.50 plus $31 in fees, plus everyone forgets this $35 for parking.
That sounds right. I mean, that sounds about right.
Jesus fuck.
So
just to get hate fucked by Maynard.
So I mean, the show itself musically fine. Plenty of people are disappointed. I'm not gonna lie, the intermission was a bit jarring because the music just stopped, and on the screen came a huge 11-minute countdown with just like time ticking down. No warning, no anything, no we'll be right back. Just broop. And you just kind of
turn up all the lights as bright as possible immediately.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so then the countdown goes. Now this is where I made a discovery. So there is like again, I don't know how the PPL Center makes money, but I think there's some kind of Allentown mafia connection because right out where the bathrooms were, there's this weird little bar. And the weird little bar has like nice leather couches and stuff. It doesn't look like it belongs in a sports arena, especially because it's in the part where the Zamboni would be driving in and out. It's like the tunnel.
Right.
So that's a little weird. But they had a cocktail robot. So they had like the normal, draft beers. You could get your Sam Adams seasonal. But then there were cocktails, but the cocktails is just this weird device with various liquor bottles sticking out of it. And they're like, "What do you want?" And it's like, "I'll take an old fashioned." And they just press a button and the robot starts whirring, and it produced a slightly below average, but totally serviceable old fashioned for the low price of $13, which was a steal compared to the shot of Jameson I had earlier.
Have
you don't have to tip it.
Have you had a human make you a worse old fashioned?
I have had. Yeah, that's a good point. I have had many humans make worse old fashions. Like it's a totally serviceable Manhattan.
Yeah, and I bet he's consistent. I bet it's consistent.
Yeah.
I said he. I bet it's consistent at making mediocre Manhattans.
Yeah. I mean,
Does the robot or the sales process solicit for a tip?
the sales process does, because there's a barman between you and the robot. But I did not give a tip due to the fact that a robot did all the work. And I didn't think the robot needed a tip. Okay, we count back down. Now I should also mention there was an inordinate number of injuries for a cool atmospheric show. Yeah, lots of people getting into fights. I don't know why the music wasn't rowdy. Like it.
I like
it's just
Schism
like,
more. No, I like Schism more. No, I'm
Yeah.
the biggest fan of.
The Godsmack crowd, that's their art rock band.
Yeah, I mean, like, so Tool, especially like this era of Tool, there's like, it's proggy. There's like musical complexity, but there's not like heavy hitting, riffy, like, I'm gonna break shit, like kind of music. So I don't know why people are fighting, but I saw, I was sort of standing on the edge. So I saw like security guards running down towards the front and running back. I don't know. You can't mosh to it. You can't really do anything to it other than like vaguely sway or like look at your shoes or look at the pretty lights. So I don't know what these people are doing. Many, 3 or 4 people were like carted out. Have you ever seen like the festival evacuation wheelchair thing? So it's like it's somewhere between a wheelchair and a stretcher. It's just like this padded metal frame that people can sit on. Like 2 or 3 people got carted out on that thing. I don't know how. I don't know why, but they did. So, intermission ends. Show continues. Again, good music, fine music. All the while, me and everyone else is like, well, they gotta hit us with one single before they leave. You gotta throw the good, hardworking people of this decaying steel town. Like, they came here with one purpose, and that's to hear the schism riff, at least as like an Easter egg or a fuck you in something. We get closer. Maynard talks again. More music, beautiful lights, beautiful performance. The last song happens. Maynard walks off his riser. The drummer, guitarist, and bassist stay a little longer. They do like I don't know if you saw the later seasons of Arrested Development, but there's a thing where they kept like doing this bow, overly much doing this like thankful bow. So the drummer like did that 10 or 11 times. The bassist waved, the guitarist waved, everybody walked out. And the air is hanging in the arena. The lights aren't on yet. Blank stage in the darkness. And everyone knows what's going to happen. Lights up. ABBA's Dancing Queen starts playing. Get the fuck out of here.
I love the ABBA.
It was just
ABBA.
like, I just imagine the sound guy thinking like, how do we convey that everyone needs to get the fuck out of here right now? And then off we went into the brisk cold night of that November Eve. And that's Tool.
So what's your rating?
I mean, okay, I have to give it 2 separate ratings. The Tool fan rating, if you enjoy the music of Tool, I would give it a 7. I thought there could have been a little more. There could have been a little more like variety. For me, I enjoy Tool musically, but I think a lot of especially their more recent songs tend to bleed together. So it is difficult to figure out when one song starts and another one ends, except by the cues from all the floating heads and exploding things like on the screen behind you. But if you are an average Allentownian, I would have to give it a 4 because I cannot imagine paying what must be an expensive ticket and your $24 shot of Jack and your robot old fashioned just to not hear a fucking radio hit that you came here to see. Oh, Tool, they're gonna play Schism. I know it. I love that song.
I found an article that said they're gonna Grammy Award-winning Tool coming to Allentown, right?
Oh,
but they didn't play any of their Grammy songs.
Well,
quick album. Well, few bands do. I'll give you that. I mean,
technically,
Metallica's not going to play Saint Anger, but
technically they did because I think they won a Grammy for their weird proggy songs.
So, album breakdown real quick. One song off Lateralus. One song, the very last song off Enema, whatever. 3 songs off 10,000 Days, which was 2 albums ago, apparently.
Yep.
And then 6 songs, so more than half the set off their new one, Fear Inoculum.
Yep. And so Anima is the follow-up to their breakout album, and Lateralus is the album that has Schism on it.
So they only have 5 albums, so they didn't play anything off Undertow or whatever.
Right. So I do enjoy the meanness of playing an obscure song from the hit record. I mean, that's brilliant. But yeah.
Were the people in the bleachers, did they sit the whole time, or did the people try and stand? Or
well, again, no one really knew what to do, because again, it's not energetic music as much as it's just like wash over you music. So most people stood, but when the lights went dark, there was like anticipation. Everyone stood up. Fuck yeah. And most people remained standing throughout the concert, but there was also just a lot of like looky-looing around. So I mean, there were people
actually
singing.
This sounds appealing to me.
I mean, there were people singing. The tie-dye shirt people were definitely singing. But most people were just kind of like, and some people sat down. I would say less than a third, maybe a quarter of people sat back down. So most people stood for the show, but I don't know that it was from enthusiasm or just, I guess we should stand.
I would have wanted a seat in like row A of one of the elevated sections, so I could sit and not have to participate. But standing and not be exerting myself physically also sounds good.
Well, it's, you get all these people here for a fucking hard rock show.
Yeah.
And then
what?
Yeah.
Sounds great. I'm still baffled by the fighting.
Well, they open the doors, people get in a drunken stupor, and then the concert's boring. Of course they'll pick little petty things with each other.
Hey man.
I'm enjoying reading the comments on some of these YouTube videos of this concert.
That's what I was looking for. I was looking for like people complaining. I couldn't really find anything quickly.
Well, I think there's a selection bias here, because if you're watching concert footage of Tool on YouTube, you're not going to be complaining. But my favorite one is, the show was so trippy, I couldn't tell I took acid.
That's pretty good. Anything else? Other good comments?
That's pretty much it.
That's hard.
Here's
that's
one.
Hard to beat.
Here's
that's
one.
Hard to beat.
Okay. Here we go. So Sukio Freak 546 says, wish they'd play Sober live. Here it is. I agree. These songs are so long that they only end up playing 11 songs over almost 2 hours. So many songs you want to hear are not played. They play it every now and then. Sober, Anima, and 46 and 2 should be staples in every show. I wonder if the person who Maynard told to get the F out for recording on his cell phone got to keep the video.
Was everyone in the world not recording?
Oh, there was lots of cameras going on. But again, I don't know. You can't capture the show. I mean, even these videos that I'm perusing through don't give any kind of justice to just the grandiosity of it. Like it's one of these things where you need the cavernous space of the arena and just the eerie movement of the lights and the reflection on people's faces. I mean, so like in the sense of like, if you want to see an interesting, well done integration of music, lights, they listen to their lighting guy's advice. I mean, because I'm sure they didn't make any demands. The lighting designer of the Allentown PPL Arena outdid himself because that was great.
So, the song they closed with, 46 and 2, they have played, according to setlist.fm, 666 times. The last time they played Schism live was March 11th, 2020.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, and
are they still on a major label?
I think
are there major labels anymore?
Yeah, they don't have a big enough catalog for it even to matter.
Yeah, so it looks like they were playing it on all that on that tour.
Yeah.
Schism, and then Sober, the last time they played that was May 24th, 2022. So yeah, these songs do make it into the set. It's just
very rare.
Yeah, they just don't like you.
Well, I wonder, don't they still open for Metallica, the
apparently
big bands?
At the Power Trip Festival, they played between AC/DC and Metallica, which was not a good spot for them.
I think they're on like a vanity label now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but I also get the sense that they don't necessarily need to tour. I mean, a lot of them have just made their money. Most of them are in other bands. So I feel like part of it is Tool is due. So, like Danny Carey, the drummer, is in something like 6 bands. So I feel like you want to bring in a new wine cellar to the Tempe house, and you go out and tour and go to Utica and go to Allentown and get your money, and then you go back and maybe we'll think about recording an album that we'll release in another 3 years. By the way, the new album they're playing all the music from, 2019.
Right.
Pre-pandemic album.
They do conduct themselves in a really metal way. I'll give them that. Really,
they might not metal. They might not be musically metal, but they live the metal lifestyle. and that's Tool. Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, worked for me. Until next time, don't play any of the hits. Ever. Cast them down. We could listen to the whole Tool discography and be done with the episodes in a week.
See?
It's Tool week on...
It's
Tool time! We'll call it Tool time!
Holy shit. Okay, we're doing this.